Jacqueline, let's get started. Can you tell the audience about Jacqueline Johnson and where you were born and raised? Were you born and raised here in Dallas?
Actually, I was. I tell you, born and raised in Dallas, Texas. I am a mother, I'm a mentor, a life coach, and just a host of activities that I do right here in the community. I have a son and a daughter and five grandchildren.
That's what makes you an amazing woman. Okay, Miss Jacqueline, so tell me, how did Adventure and Victory organization get started, and what was your motivation?
Oh, Glenda, I tell you, oh, life of a child wasn't very loving and fun to me. I had a childhood that almost snowballed me into a life of fear, depression, and pain. My mother died when I was 12 years old. It hit me like a ton of bricks when I got that phone call. And I got into a life of just streets. That began a life of inner city drama for me.
Wow.
And as I began to travel through life and grow up, what happened, Glenda, was when I began to see young people, young women beginning to become promiscuous, when I began to see young men joining gangs, I said, not on my watch, I got to do something about it, because I look back and I remember that life wasn't pleasant. You know, it just wasn't an easy experience, and I wanted to give back. So that motivated me. The burning became such a passion. A passion became such an inspiration. The inspiration became a dream, which grew feet and became adventure and victory.
Wow, I'm getting excited just listening to it. So, Jacqueline, were you already a Christian when you were out there doing it? Did you know God, know of God? Were you born into a family who taught you the fundamentals about Christ, who he was?
I went to church.
Did you learn that? Oh, okay, like most of us do.
I went to church. But
no
when
relationship?
I didn't have a
Not
relationship. My grandmother and them took me to church. They was faithful in the church. And when I started Adventure and Victory, I wasn't saved when I started Adventure and Victory.
Are you serious?
I wasn't. So I started to recruiting, and they could drop it like it was hot. They could sing and dance and do all of what they want. And we had groves of children. They came in groves when they could do their own thing. So I tell you, it was an experience when God saved me.
Isn't it amazing how God somehow sees down the road what our life is going to be like, and when he calls us into faith, how we activate that faith, and then we began to do the things that we were born to do. Just listening to you say that, I know that God always has a plan for all of us that is born into the family of God. And I know within myself, faith works, because Jesus is faith. Jesus is faith. So I want to ask you a question right here, Jacqueline. I know that with the success and the people that your organization has helped, and I know you help a lot of people, I know you've probably had some pain, you know, and I know that you've probably had a lot of challenges and struggles that you've encountered since you started the ministry that God has given you, you know, with helping women, other women, children, whoever, you know, within the community. Could you just let our audience know about the struggles?
Glenda, yes. The struggles for me has always been, with economy, you don't have enough to be able to help the people who come your way that needs the help that they need. And it has always been a struggle. Like sitting here, I thank God for the opportunity that Elaine has given me today, because you have to have an audience, you have to have advertisements, you have to have marketing, and that has always been a struggle and a challenge for our organization, is marketing and having the billboards and the different things that you need to advertise what it is that you are doing, how are you rebuilding, transforming, and empowering people's lives, and getting the message out there has been a struggle, not to mention having the finances to build this baby and to push this baby. Yeah, I have the faith. I thank God. You know, it's been about 8 years ago when we were sitting around in another building that we had 8 years ago, Glenda. And this is faith today sitting here, because we sit back and we talked about being on our own TV show, and that we will be talking about building the Dream Center. And today, Today, that thing
It's a
has manifested.
reality.
That was 8 years ago.
8
We were
years
sitting
ago.
around and you was interviewing me, acting like we was on a TV show. I said, God, this
God
just
is
God.
good. God is good. God is so good.
This
He is
God.
so faithful. Oh my God. I just thank and I just praise God that, you know, he said that he would give us the desires of our hearts. And a lot of desires that we have are actually the ones that God has already put on the inside. Enough of that. Okay, now, Jacqueline, tell us about the various components of adventure and victory. What does that mean? Has life been adventurous for you?
Absolutely. The name adventurous is just that.
Okay.
And getting the victory.
Wow.
Adventure and victory is made up of several components, mainly four. We have Destiny Tabernacle, Destiny Prayer Tabernacle, and this is where we come together every Sunday afternoon, the community, to pray for the nation, to pray for families, to pray for those in prisons, those who are going through hard times, the marriages that are all at a high time going to divorce court. 50% of our marriages are in court. And then those who are just battling, single parents raising their children alone, those on the edge of suicide at 3 o'clock. We invite the community to come in, Destiny Prayer Tabernacle, where they can join in and pray. And we tabernacle with the Lord. And then we also have the Women of Destiny programs where we have the workshops. We reach out to shelters and group homes and women who are just kind of going through and needing a way out, needing to sit back and do an evaluation. Where am I now? Where do I want to be in the next 6 months of my life? What is God saying to me? I need some short-term and some long-term goals, and being able to identify with what's short-term and what's long-term, helping with their credit report and pulling your credit report and stop paying everybody to do your work for yourself. So we getting them in there and they're running out of their past and into their destiny. I absolutely love doing Women of Destiny workshops and seminars.
She is so excited, and she is a very exciting woman.